Okay, welcome back guys. And in this tutorial we are going to add jumping to our game. So the first thing we're going to start off with is changing this to a variable of fall speed. And we're going to define all these variables after we write out this code. So first thing we need to do is check if distance is greater than 0.6. Distance to ground is greater than 0.6. And if it is, then fall speed is going to increment by 5 times time step. And otherwise, it's going to be fall speed is equal to 0, so we're going to reset it. So what we have here is, if the player is off the ground, then start making him fall towards the ground at this increasing variable, otherwise reset it. Now if key space is equal to 1 and jumping is equal to 0 and fall speed is equal to 0 as well, then jumping equals 1. So if jumping equals 1, my dot skill 3 plus equals jump time divided by 2.5. So basically, as long as the player is jumping, his skill 3 is going to be reversed and make him increment rather than fall, which is basically what this is doing. So because this is going to be a higher number, it's going to force him to go in the opposite direction after you push space. Jump time needs to increment by a jump interval as well. And if the jump interval is greater than -1, then the jump interval is going to subtract by 1. Which basically means that the jump is going to increment until it gets to a certain point, because it's going to decrease as it increases, and so therefore once it gets to a negative value, the player will start to fall, and therefore gravity will kick back in. So now, if fall speed is 0, so if you're on the ground and jump interval is less than 4, so this means you've jumped, because you can only make that interval 4 if you've jumped, otherwise it remains at 5. Jump interval equals 5. So if jump time is equal to 10 and the jump interval is equal to 5 and key space equals 0, then cooldown jump equals 0, and jumping is also equal to 0. And if jump time is equal to 10 and jump interval is equal to 5 and key space equals 0 and cooldown jump is less than cool down jump time plus 1, and cool down jump time, cooldown jump plus equals 1 times time step, and basically the same bit here, but then once cooldown jump is greater than cooldown jump time, then cooldown jump equals 0, and jumping is also 0, which resets the jump. So basically what we have here, so after the jump is complete, these variables are set. And once these variables are set, it checks if you are still pressing the key, the space key or not, and if you are, if you are pushing the key space button, and the cooldown time hasn't reached the cooldown time yet, while you're holding space, it will not just make you jump as soon as you hit the ground. It'll wait a brief moment before you start jumping again. So now let's just add in our variables. So var jumping is 0, var fall speed equals 0, var jump time is also equal to, it's equal to 10, var jump height is equal to 30, var jump interval equals 5, cooldown jump equals 0, and cooldown jump time equals 5. Now these are all just values that I made up. You're welcome to play around with them. I don't know if I said that already, if I was just thinking it. But that's it. That's all we need to make the player jump. So, okay, so we're getting an error. So jump time, unknown jump time. So did I not declare that up here? Yes, but I spelled it incorrectly. Okay, there we go. So let's bring this here. I put these into our level just for the sake of the jumping test. Now the frames per second is at 60, and it works. And there we go. We've implemented a jump into our game. Now, of course, we won't use blocks. They seem to be a little bit glitchy. But we'll be using models later on. This was simply for testing purposes, just to make sure that the player was able to jump up that size of a block. So there we go. We now have a jump. Now if we wanted to optimize this, we could ultimately say the jump time is jump time max. So jump time actually we could reverse this. Set that like that. Okay, so just double check, and then we can put that here at jump time. And the same thing for the jump interval. Okay, in the next tutorial we'll start adding in other little things like switches and other neat little features that I can think of, possibly even update the camera.